I was doubtful.
I was looking for approval.
I was angry.
I was going through the motions.
My whole life was focused around me, how I looked, what I wanted, what car I drove, where I worked.
I felt like I had to control my life because I didn't really know if I believed anybody else was in control.
I loved Jesus, believed in God, always tried to do what I thought was His direction for my life was, but what I wasn't doing was practicing that faith outside of the church.
My life before I came to New Spring, it was dark. It was just like a dark room. You didn't know where to go.
I'd been coming to New Spring about 2 years, serving in different areas of ministry. It was this past December on the 6th that I stood and accepted Christ, and when Perry gave the invitation during the service, that was when the Lord spoke to me and said, "You need to stop doubting me and you need to trust me with your life." And so I did.
I knew all about Christ, but never had a personal relationship with Him. But God used my third pregnancy out of marriage to change my heart and life forever.
The first time I got invited to New Spring, I really didn't want to go. But as soon as I walked in the doors and just captivated by the way that God was presenting Himself, I had no idea church could be that awesome.
I love New Spring because it frees people to be exactly who God's called them to be by not being constrained and be able to be taught and to listen to exactly what God has to say to them.
I love my church because here in the community of my friends and my family, I see who Jesus really is. You know, as soon as I walk out of here on Sunday afternoon, I look forward to coming back the following Sunday.
Just seeing people step over from death to life and just loving on people, and it just makes me so excited to be here every week.
Good place for friends, to bring friends, and it's a place of life change.
This is home. This is where I can feel that I can come and get a hug and a smile. This is home away from home.
I love my church.
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 Growing up, I had a very average American life. When I started high school, I transferred from a private school to a public school. When I got there, I felt very lost, very disconnected, and I started to hate everything. I started to hate the world, I started to hate people, and I started to hate myself. I started to isolate myself from my friends, and I would ignore them, and I just wouldn't hang out with them. Just slept all day, every day, and did whatever I could to be against anything they stood for, and that included God. For about 2 years, I fell into a very deep hole of depression, to the point where I was planning my funeral and planning my death. I was ready to kill myself. And then New Spring came to Florence. My friends had always been involved in church, but when New Spring came to Florence, I saw a drastic change in them. They seemed more joyful than ever, and even though I isolated myself from them and I was against everything they stood for, they still continued to invite me week after week after week to come to New Spring. One day, I just decided, why not? The first month or so, the first few weeks, all I did was come here and make fun of it. I mocked it. After a few months, I just got really tired of mocking it. It just got really old really fast, and I just started actually opening up and making myself vulnerable and listening to the message instead of just making fun of it. I heard the 10th anniversary service was coming up soon, and my friend invited me to go with him and his mom up to Greenville. The band started playing a song, and everybody stood up around me and started worshiping, but I remained seated. I realized at that moment that my hate and my depression and isolating myself from everything was my way of running away from God, and that I needed to stop running, and I accepted Christ that day. After accepting Christ, I was overwhelmed with this joy, and I still am to this day. So overwhelmed with joy that I can honestly say without a doubt that I have no idea what it even feels like to be depressed anymore. I wish I wouldn't have wasted so much time and wasted all the opportunities that I had to accept Christ. But I'm thankful that Jesus saved my life. My name is Emmett, and I love my church.